Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another Rookie Card Collector 123 video. Today's episode, we're going to take a look at the second half of some of the really most unique items from my Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame rookie collection that I had back in the 2010 time frame. So I showed the first half maybe a week or two ago, and a lot of unique items. Most of them were not traditional cards, so they would not qualify as rookie cards, but they were all either pre-rookie items, which means they predated the true rookie card for that player, or they were rookie options, sometimes a lower price alternative to the traditional rookie card, which might have been more expensive. So we're going to take a look today at another group, the second half of some of my more unique items that I pulled out from my archives, from my old collection. The first one here was a really cool item. Unfortunately, the picture, I don't have it anymore, of course, so the picture of it is not coming in very clear. You can sort of make out a little bit of the images. But it's an 1894. It's produced by a company called Torsch, Torsch, and Lee. They were out of Baltimore, Maryland, and it was basically almost like a pin back, except there's no pin on the back of it. It's more like a pendant. And the surface has, it was about 17 or 18 of the Baltimore Major League team ball players, little cameo portraits of all the players, including Ned Hanlon, who was the manager. These came attached to a ribbon and then a clasp, a metal clasp that you would actually pin it onto your shirt, would be attached to the ribbon on top. So it was sort of a pendant. The surface was kind of like an ivory type of surface. And these were real photo images of the players developed onto this ivory type surface. So the 1894 Baltimore club had actually 6 Hall of Famers on it, in addition to Hanlon, the manager. So they're all pictured on there. And for those 6 ball players, most of them appeared in a cabinet card series called the Alpha Photo Engraving cards. They were all Baltimore National League players from that season, 1894. And the majority, or all of them that are known, I believe, are one of one. There was only one set known to exist. Possibly more, but I believe only one has been found for each player. And there's still some players that are missing that have not been discovered from that team, including Willie Keeler, who was one of the biggest stars. So it would make sense that they probably would have made a card of him, probably just hasn't been found yet. So this Torsch and Lee pennant shows the 6 Hall of Famers plus Hamlin. The equivalent of rookie piece for all 6 of those Hall of Famers, except for Wilbert Robinson. Robinson was in the Old Judge tobacco series from the late 1880s, 1887 to 1890, as well as a couple of other card issues. But the other guys, Hugh Jennings, Willie Keeler's on here, Joe Kelly's on here, John McGraw during his playing days before managing the Giants, he's on here. Dan Brothers is on here. Brothers also had an Old Judge card, so it would not really be a rookie for him. And Ned Hanlon was in the Old Judge card set as well. So these were, when I had it, I believe there was maybe another 5 or 6 or 7 of these known. So super rare item, really cool, and haven't seen one for sale in many years now. But 1894 Torsch and Lee. At the time, I was able to get Beckett to encapsulate this as authentic. So really neat item. 7 Hall of Famers pictured. Next thing we're going to look at is this is in 1945. So this is George Kell, who's the Hall of Fame third baseman. He was with the Philadelphia Athletics at this point. Would be most well known for his years with the Detroit Tigers, Hall of Fame third baseman. But this is 45 Philadelphia Athletics. This was a team photo pack set. George Kell is included in there. This predates his Bowman 49 Bowman rookie by four full seasons. Again, would not be considered a rookie card because it's a photo, not a card. But 1945 Philadelphia Athletics, George Kell from the Philadelphia photo pack. Next thing we're going to look at is a really unique item. This is a card that was put out by Topps in 1969. As you can see, it's sort of a caricature card. It's in black and white, and it pictures Bowie Kuhn, who was newly appointed as the commissioner of baseball. It's got his head superimposed on the cartoon drawing of a body. And as far as I know, almost all these that exist were autographed by Bowie Kuhn. I believe they were made for an appearance that he was doing, a public appearance, and people were getting them signed there. Probably some sort of banquet dinner type of event. So Bowie Kuhn 69 top, and definitely a Bowie Kuhn rookie card. Okay. Next thing we're going to look at is a 1929. These are not cards. These are actually little mini booklets. And it was from a series, a non-sport series, really, called Men of America. And it included the top American pioneers of the early 20th century. So pictured on this one is Kennesaw Mountain Landis, who was the commissioner of baseball at the time this was printed in 1929. Underneath him is some depiction of ball players in a game. It's got a catcher, a batter, and actually a bicyclist, it looks like, as well. So this obviously, again, not a card, but the earliest Kennesaw Mountain Landis collectible that I was able to pick up when I was doing this Hall of Fame collection from 1929. I was able to get SGC to encapsulate it. Of course, as authentic, they wouldn't give it a number grade. So Men of America, 1929, a really scarce item to find with Kennesaw Landis. Next item is one of our more newly elected Negro Leaguers. This is actually Effa Manley, who's the only female in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Effa, along with her husband Abe Manley, owned the Newark Eagles Negro League Club during the late 30s and through the 1940s. And Manley was responsible for bringing in some of the Eagles' biggest stars, including Monty Irvin and Larry Doby, who would both go on to play in the major leagues as two of the earliest Negro League ball players. So this Effa Manley is in 1996. It came from a playing card deck featuring all Negro League greats. And this is the only card that I'm aware of that was ever made of Effa Manley. And her earliest card, obviously, so it would be Effa Manley rookie card, even though it's way after her Negro League date. Next thing we're going to look at is actually a panel of 4 cards. This is from 1960. This is a minor league issue, so it's again not qualifying as rookie card status. This would be a pre-rookie, but this was put out by the National Bank of Washington, and it pictures the Tacoma Giants, four players from the Giants. The significant part of these four cards, or four-card panel, is over here in the corner is Juan Marichal in 1960, which was the year before his 1961 Topps rookie would come out. So a pre-rookie of Marichal. This one is part of a four-card panel. Up here is actually Jesus Alou, who's not a Hall of Famer, but was a pretty significant Major League star, one of the Alou brothers, along with Felipe Alou and Matty Alou, that would star in the major leagues. So Juan Marichal here with the Tacoma Giants, 1960, and was put out by National Bank of Washington. Really cool. It was a pretty large size piece. It just barely fit in the Beckett holder. I was able to get Beckett to encapsulate it at the time. Again, it's authentic only. Next thing we're going to look at is an umpire in the Hall of Fame. This is Bill McGowan. Bill McGowan, during the late 40s and early 50s, ran an umpiring school where they taught people how to umpire professional and semi-pro baseball games. And McGowan was in charge of the camp. So anybody who attended the camp was issued some postcards over the years. This is the most popular one. It's a individual depiction of McGowan. Some of the others pictured multiple umpires out on the field during game situations and things like that. And so this is the only one that had McGowan as a portrait individually. Super tough to find. Population on this is probably somewhere under 10, I would guess. I once had this one in my collection when I did the Hall of Fame rookies. So a real Bill McGowan true rookie card. Okay, next one is going to be a team postcard. So again, not going to qualify for rookie status, but it's a 1934 Kurtik. That was the publisher that produced the postcard. It's the 1934 St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals were a powerhouse in the National League during that time. And it's got about 20 or so small portraits pictured inside ovals or circles. The main attraction on this one is it's a first professional baseball appearance or major league appearance for Johnny Mize, the Hall of Fame first base great. So Mize is, let's see, mm, the pictures in the circles are kind of small, but they are all labeled at the very bottom underneath. I'm not finding Mize at the moment, but he's on here. The earliest St. Louis Cardinals major league appearance for Mize, 1934 Kurtik Cardinals team postcard. Another interesting thing about this postcard is it's a linen postcard, which means it's got fibers of material in the paper. These were kind of popular back in the 30s. Next item we're going to take a look at is a 1977 Eddie Murray. It's a Baltimore Orioles. It's a team issue photo pack. So again, the team issue and a photo, not a card, so it's not going to be a rookie card candidate. But it's a pre-rookie because Murray's rookie card is in the 78 Topps series. So this is a 77 Orioles team issue with a very young Eddie Murray on there. And this one was graded by SGC as a 2, although it looks pretty good. Right, next one we're going to look at is Walter O'Malley. Walter O'Malley was the owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And actually, in the inset here is Vin Scully, who was a broadcaster for the Dodger games. This is a 1961 Union Oil. These are actually a series of records they printed with the various Dodger players on the cover of the record. This one obviously has O'Malley, and it's the earliest Walter O'Malley individual piece I was able to find when I was collecting all the Hall of Famers. So Union Oil 76, Los Angeles Dodgers record cover with Walter O'Malley and Vin Scully. Okay, next one we have is another team postcard item. This one is a 1906 St. Louis Browns, so this is another team postcard. This is from a series cataloged as W601. These were put out by the Sporting Life, and they have cameo portrait shots of about 20 members from each of the American and National League clubs. So all these were produced in 1906, 1 year only. So the significance of this one is it's got Branch Rickey, who is here, um, just above center on the left side there. Branch Rickey's earliest appearance on a professional baseball item is this 1906 W601 Sporting Life postcard with the St. Louis Browns. The Branch Rickey rookie card is in the Cracker Jack set, which is produced almost 10 years later. But this would be his earliest professional baseball appearance. Next up, we have a Robin Roberts. We looked at Richie Ashburn in part one of this review last time. So Robin Roberts, star pitcher for the Phillies, his rookie card is in the 49 Bowman set. This item here is a 1948 Philadelphia Bulletin. These were die-cut images printed in a newspaper. They were meant to be cut out. And a lot of kids pasted them on their notebooks for school and things like that. This person had two of them. Roberts and another player cut them out and pasted it on a like a scrapbook page. I was able to get Beckett to authenticate this one as authentic. So Robin Roberts, it's from 1948, so it's a year before his real true rookie card. So a pre-rookie Robin Roberts. Next one we're going to look at is super popular ball player Jackie Robinson. Obviously broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball in 1947. So Robinson has rookie cards in 47 from the Bond Bread issues. There's several different cards. He also has a 49 Leaf and a 49 Bowman. A lot of people collect those as rookie cards. This issue here is actually from 46. It's his only item in professional baseball prior to 1947. This is a Parade Sportive, which was a newspaper or a magazine in Canada. And they printed a series in 46 of, they were oversized, so I guess you would call them premiums. This one pictures Jackie. They made about 20 players or so. They're all from the Montreal team, which was the minor league affiliate of the Brooklyn Dodgers at that time. And Jackie, of course, is the big highlight of the set. Jackie also appears on the team card in this set. They made a team card picturing everybody on the club. And today, of course, with Jackie's popularity and values escalating so much over the past several years, this is a huge card in the hobby. These are extremely rare. The populations on this is probably somewhere under 10, or close to 10. Same thing with the team card. And like I said, there's a number of other Montreal players. There's one or two other former Negro League players in this issue as well. Roy Partlow played for the Montreal club. He was in the Negro Leagues with Jackie. So Parade Sport of 1946 Premium. These are roughly about 6 inches by about 9 or 10 inches high. And I was able to get this one graded by Beckett. It graded pretty high for this type of issue. It's a 4.5. At the time, it might have been the highest graded out there. I'm not sure. The next one was probably the biggest card that I ever owned in my collection. So this was a 1915 spring training real photo postcard of Babe Ruth here. The image is a little light, but in person, the postcard is actually very clear. This is him in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Like I said, 1915 spring training is a full length pose. This postcard sold pretty recently, about a year ago or so. I believe it was in a Mile High auction. It sold for about $152,000. When I owned it back around 2010, I had bought it in an auction for, I believe, $3,000, and I sold it a couple of years later in another auction, I believe, for $5,500. So that just gives you an idea how insanely crazy prices have gotten in the last several years compared to what things were like before. So 1915 Babe Ruth real photo postcard. I believe at this point there's two of these known. The other one also recently appeared in auction and sold for a similar price. I think 140,000, something like that. So super rare, predates the Babe Ruth Sporting News rookie by a year, and it's the year after his Baltimore News minor league card. But this pictures him with the Boston Red Sox. So a lot of people prefer the major league image. Next one we're going to look at is Red Schoendienst. Red was a star outfielder for the St. Louis Cardinals. Team outfield that included Stan Musial, Enos Slaughter, and Schoendienst during the 40s and 50s. So this particular item is super rare. I believe the population on it is 2. It's from a postcard series that was put out by Sears Roebuck, the department store. They did in St. Louis. They did two different teams. They did the Cardinals, and they did the St. Louis Browns, which was the American League professional ball club in St. Louis at that time. There's a Stan Musial rookie from '46 in the series as well. I've only ever seen one of those in an auction catalog back in the early 2000s. I was never able to pick that one up. This Schoendienst is the only one I've ever seen, and was fortunate enough to pick it up in an auction when I saw it. So, super rare, 46 years, Cardinals postcard. Next one looks like it's an 1891 Boston Bean Eaters, I believe was the name of the team at that point. It looks like a cabinet card style. And if I remember correctly, the back of the card has the photography studio on it. These are cameo portraits that are inset in small rectangles with images of about 17 players. It's got Frank Sealy, who was the manager there, who has virtually no baseball cards ever made of him from his playing days. He has one Allegheny card, which was a 1904 playing card game series, but it was a test issue. And as far as I know, they only made one set of the cards, so there's only one of every player in there. So that's basically an impossibility to get that. This one, I believe, is also a one of one. I've never seen another one of these. But it's got Sealy, there was two or three other Boston Hall of Famers pictured on here. I think Kid Nichols is on here as well from 1891. The back of it, I think, was also a scorecard. So I think you had the lineup of the players actually pre-printed on the back of this. So it was some sort of combination of like a cabinet card, scorecard type of piece. I never saw another one, but I was fortunate enough to own this one back in the 2010 time frame. So a really cool piece. Next one we're going to look at is another team postcard. This one is actually from Mexico, and this has two of the Negro League greats on here. It's got Hilton Smith, who is right there, and Cool Papa Bell, who is right here. They both played on the same Mexican League team in 1940, along with a number of other guys. I think there's one or two other former Negro League players on there. So this is super rare. As far as I know, it's a one of a kind. Had this one graded by SGC. They just graded it authentic. I think it looks like it might have had a slight trimming on the one of the borders on the side, but really good image. Impossible to find. Cool Papa Bell and Hilton Smith from 1940. Okay, next one we're going to look at is I've had a few different versions of these over the years. It's actually called a baseball currency. It's sort of like a um, dollar bill. One side of it would have usually the owner of the team or the president of the team on it. And then on the opposite side would usually have the leading player on the team. So these were produced over about a 3-year period, primarily from 1887 to 1889. They were usually done by ball clubs, so you would have like the whole Detroit team or the whole Chicago team. The front of it would look like this. The back of it would have in little portraits, ovals, all around the edges of the bill. It would have all the players on the team. So they would have maybe about 15 players pictured on the back. This one's got Albert Spalding in the main portrait on the left side, and then Cap Anson is the batter on the right side. And this is the Chicago club because Anson and Spalding were with Chicago in the late 1880s. There's one of these that actually exists that was an all-star, sort of a collage of all-stars. That's the one of the rarest ones, and that's also the one of the most high demand ones. These are extremely rare. Back in the day, you did find these come up for auction every now and then. I own two or three different ones, including this one. Tough to keep in good condition because just like a currency bill, they were pretty thin paper and got a lot of handling. Um, but another really neat item, I was able to get Beckett to actually give this one a number grade. Like I said, they were out there years ago more often, so Beckett, I guess, saw enough of them to determine that this was a gradable item. So this one got a 2, which isn't too bad for a series like this. Next thing we've got is another team item. This one's not a postcard, but it's a team premium. This would have been like a photo that was sold at the ballpark. This is the 1938 Minneapolis Ball Club. It was a minor league, high minor league team. And this significance of this one is it pictures right here. It pictures Ted Williams, who won the Triple Crown that year in the league where he played at Minneapolis. This is 1938, so this is the year before he would come up to the Boston Red Sox in spring training 1939 and begin his illustrious major league career. So Ted Williams pictured in the back row there, the third from the left, 1938 Minneapolis team. This was produced by a radio station in Minneapolis. At the bottom, it identifies all the players. It identifies the radio station. And I was able to get Beckett to encapsulate this one as authentic. This is about 8 by 10. So this stretched all the way to the edges of the holder. This was about the biggest thing they could encapsulate back at that time. Okay, next item we have is another. This one is a postcard. This is a team, it's a minor league team. So this one actually pictures the 1922 Martinsburg Club. Martinsburg was a low A minor league club. At this time, there was no affiliation with major league teams, so the minor leagues was basically a separate league. They were not connected to any particular team. But over here on the in the front row, all the way on the right side here, is Hack Wilson. Hack Wilson would go on to become a star with first with the Giants, and then even more so with the Chicago Cubs in the late 20s, early 30s. Unfortunately, he had some personal issues and drinking, and did not have a super long major league career, but best known for his 191 RBIs in, I believe it was 1930, which is still the Major League Baseball all-time record for runs batted in a season. So 1922, earliest professional baseball image, I believe, for Hack Wilson, and another one of a kind as far as I know. I was fortunate enough to have this one. And the last thing I'm going to show from my collection back then, another super cool piece. This is, some people might recognize this. This is a 1869. This is from a Peck and Snyder CDV, which was a carte de vista. These were images produced in the mid to late 1800s, before cabinet cards, really. It's a smaller version. The backing is a thinner cardboard. It's a real photo that's mounted onto it, kind of like a cabinet card would be later. And this one pictures the 1869 Cincinnati Red stocking team. Harry Wright and George Wright were the two biggest names on there, both Hall of Famers. My item here is just strictly the albumin photo, which was the photo that was mounted onto the CDV back. Mine doesn't have the back, it was missing, so it's just a very thin photograph. I was able to get Beckett to encapsulate it as authentic. And these are, especially in today's market, are super valuable. It's probably a six-figure card, not the way it is here with just the photograph, but the actual CDV. Um, so 1869, the first ever, many people consider it first ever baseball card, with the team there. And Harry Wright and George Wright, like I said, are the highlights there. So that's going to wrap up everything I pulled out as far as some of the really unique rarities, one of ones from my old Hall of Fame rookie card collection. It was a lot of fun putting that together. I did that from 2004 till about 2014 when I eventually sold off everything and I got into Negro League material and ended up putting my funds from the sales into that. But anyway, hope you like these items. Maybe you've seen some things you've never seen before and enjoyed it. And I hope you guys have a great day and catch you on the next one.